When we think of the coca plant, we think of cocaine. Now, the main ingredient this blood-riddled drug is derived from is the coca leaf, native to the South American Andes. But this documentary is not about the white powder. It's a story of these small green leaves and what they're really used for. Their strong medicinal and spiritual purposes, and how they're worshipped and considered sacred in this part of the world.
Todo lo que se produce aquí es prácticamente para el consumo humano, no es para droga.
When I arrived in Peru, I was uneducated on the wide variety of uses that the coca leaves have, and therefore surprised to see such huge stacks of it for sale everywhere. But I soon learnt that the coca leaf has been used for medicinal and ceremonial purposes for thousands of years, unlike cocaine, which has only been circulating in society since the 1800s. Coca was so valuable to the American Indians that they preferred it over silver and gold. And still to this day, many indigenous groups from South America venerate this sacred leaf.
¿De qué quieres saber?
¿Puedes decir qué quieres sobre la coca?
¿Para qué es bueno todo esto?
La coca por sí es bueno para, la hoja de coca es bueno para la altura, también para el dolor de estómago, para digerir el estómago mayormente, ¿no? Mucha gente del campo lo utilizan también para el cansancio, para el sueño, para el aburrimiento, para el hambre. La coca que te quita el hambre, el sueño, el cansancio que tienes en el viaje o en el campo, en el trabajo, ¿no?
Whilst I was in Bolivia, I got in touch with a man called Carlos, who was the owner of a small coca plantation, and was given the opportunity to film there and find out the true significance of the coca leaves in the lives of indigenous groups today. What is the coca leaf really used for? It was time to venture across Bolivia and find out. At the San Pedro Bridge, which is here, where my friend Carlos has told me to meet him. However, I have no phone service, and as you can see, it's in completely the middle of nowhere. There's a car on the other side of the bridge, so we're going to walk over there and see if it's him, and if not, we're going to have to, I don't know, find him some other way. So this is Carlos, who we were waiting for, and I got his contact from my workaway hosts from where I was last week, and he's going to show me everything that I need to know about coca and how it's harvested, how it's dried, and I'm also going to be talking to him and some of the workers about its sacred uses and why everyone here is so obsessed with it.
Bien, mi nombre es Carlos Fiorillo. Y soy dueño de la propiedad La Encantada, donde producimos hojas de coca, café orgánico. Vamos a trabajar en un documental sobre la coca, el trabajo que se hace cotidianamente, la cosecha, el secado y el embolsado de las hojas de coca para el consumo humano en las ciudades de Bolivia. Y finalmente, si tenemos tiempo, ustedes se van a divertir en un lugar muy maravilloso con cascadas y abundante agua.
Perfecto.
Eso es lo que vamos a hacer.
¡Perfecto! ¡Vamos!
Eso.
Where Carlos lived was a place that the Bolivians called Las Yungas, also known as the gateway to the Amazon rainforest. Even though there were small roads connecting this place to the cities, it still took a whopping 17-hour journey to get there. So we're just walking to the coca fields now, and Carlos has explained to us this morning that the weather is actually really, really bad to be picking it because it was raining all night, and so all the leaves are going to be wet. But he said he would rather take the risk and do it now in the morning whilst the leaves are still a little bit wet, instead of perhaps it raining a lot this afternoon and it being impossible to pick them and all of our time being wasted. And the reason we can't pick them properly when the leaves are wet is because the quality will be really bad and the colour will not be correct for when people want to buy them. And he said that if people are buying coca leaves that are very pale in colour, they won't be worth much money and nobody will want them. And so we have to wait until they're dry for the colour to be rich and dark green, and that's when people want to buy them and when they're best for chewing and you can get the most energy out of them. So we have been in the coca fields for about 10 minutes, and so I went to introduce myself to the workers and try to explain what I was trying to do, and that I want to make a documentary about the original and true use of the coca leaf. And the workers are all quite shy, they're all indigenous. I think they're probably not used to us being here, especially not used to being around cameras. And I just got slaughtered by one of them saying that all these people are constantly coming to try and film him, how people will just exploit him for working with cocaine, and how he just didn't want any kind of negative image being put on him. And I tried to explain that I'm in this video doing exactly the opposite of that, and I want to show that this leaf has a huge amount more to it than just producing cocaine. And I mean, these guys aren't even producing cocaine, they're producing these leaves only to sell to the markets. Not a very successful first 10 minutes, but I'm hoping if I'm here for the next few days I can get a bit closer to them and try and explain more what I'm trying to do and how I'm actually wanting to represent them really, really well and show the true meaning of this sacred leaf. Carlos shortly arrived in the coca field and explained to his friends what my aim was. They were still shy, but a little more open to doing interviews. Carlos's friends belonged to an indigenous group called the Aymara, who have inhabited the Andes for over 2,000 years. Carlos told me that if I was to talk to anyone, it should be Simón, as he was the oldest and most practiced of his family's sacred traditions.
En la cultura, la coca es simplemente para nosotros, para la piel, apreciada. Después la coca también nosotros vendemos, con coca ya nos da también comida, pues otras veces nos compramos con la hoja de coca y no de otra. Por eso nosotros producimos coca.
¿Y estás masticando ahora?
Claro.
¿Por qué te gusta masticar la coca?
Porque la coca es una vitamina. Hasta del COVID te vende la coca con lejía. Por eso nosotros siempre masticamos digamos, en el campo, en el yungas, la coca con chilica. Pero en ciudad no pixian eso. Por eso están muchos cayendo con COVID. Por eso nosotros, gente del campo, somos ya fuertes. No necesitamos ni vacuna a veces. Algunos también se hacen vacunar. Es vitamina. Algo cuando se llama, cuando pixías coca no te da siquiera ganas, no tienes hambre, bebes todo el día puesto.
During my time in the Andes, I noticed many locals walking about with their machetes attached to one side of their belt and a kilo bag of coca strung to the other, constantly chewing on the leaf, only being removed from their mouths at mealtimes. Multiple natives, such as Simón and Carlos, told me that the chewing of the coca leaf is not an addiction, but solely a cultural habit that couldn't be further from the behaviour associated with taking cocaine.
Los norteamericanos piensan que la coca es mala, que sirve para droga, que los bolivianos, colombianos, ecuatorianos producimos coca para matar a la gente. Y eso es mentira. ¿Ya? ¿Por qué? Porque la coca no es mala. Coca no es cocaína. Coca sirve para curar, para la salud, sirve para trabajar, dar energía, pero no es una droga. Es como decir, las uvas no son vino. Para hacer el vino es un proceso. Para hacer cocaína de las hojas de coca es un proceso. En mi vida, yo tengo 57 años. En 57 años nunca he visto 1 gramo de cocaína, no conozco. Porque en Bolivia la gente no conoce. En Bolivia, 57 años de vida, y yo no conozco 1 solo gramo de cocaína, nunca.
We've now left the coca field and we've come to where it's all drying out on a big tarp, and Carlos is going to show us how to spread it out so it can all dry properly. The sky is still quite grey, so I hope it doesn't rain, but I presume we can cover it if it does.
Se dobla, así, significa que ya está seca. Aquí falta bastante, así que como no hay mucho sol, va a demorar bastante tiempo. Estimo que hasta el final, quizás mañana, terminemos de secar la coca. Sin sol es peor. Entonces ahora, después de la cosecha, se trae acá, se seca, mañana se empaqueta y se ponen en las bolsas especiales para llevarlas al mercado o a otros lugares.
The coca leaf was considered sacred by the Incas. However, during this period, it was only the royals that were allowed to consume it. Not until after the fall of the Incas was the leaf consumed by the common people. It's due to the phenomenal energy and suppression of hunger that the plant provided during famine that made it, and still makes it, so sacred. It was believed the Pachamama sent the plants to them as a form of divinity. All these beliefs have been carried on until today and are commonly practiced with ritualistic measures. I often witness people holding up 3 coca leaves to the sky as an offering to the Pachamama before they would start to chew them, as a form of gratitude and respect. It wasn't until the 19th century, thousands of years after the coca leaf's first use, that scientists extracted the alkaline compound within the leaf, cocaine. Only when it is extracted and concentrated is when it becomes so highly addictive and a drug opposed to a medicine. It was this extract that was added to Coca Cola in 1886, and the high caffeine-containing cola nut from West Africa, hence the name Coca Cola. Although cocaine was soon removed as an ingredient, the drink is still flavoured with deactivated coca leaves. By the 20th century, the world was becoming worried about the addictive problems associated with cocaine, and by 1961, the Single Convention for Narcotic Drugs Policy came out, calling for destruction of all coca plants, including those only intended for medicinal purposes.
El que quiere drogarse, se va a drogar con cocaína, heroína, con hachís, con lo que sea. Y no es culpa del boliviano, no es culpa del productor de hoja de coca. Es culpa de la persona que se compra, no es de nosotros.
Something the people of the Andes who venerate this leaf can teach us all is that there's a whole lot more to the coca leaf than the white powder we attach to it. And we shouldn't forget its true uses and where it comes from. Andean countries such as Peru and Bolivia rejected and still do reject this unfavourable worldview on coca. The government supported the indigenous communities within their countries, saying they've been using it safely for thousands of years and the plant provides multiple benefits. In fact, at the 2009 UN conference, Bolivia's president Evo Morales purposefully chewed coca at the event.
Queremos ser muy responsables con ustedes, con la humanidad y con otras autoridades internacionales que planifican, informan la lucha contra el narcotráfico. Sabemos que una parte de la hoja de coca, de esta hoja de coca, desvían a la cocaína. No somos de la cultura de la cocaína. El consumo de esta hoja de coca viene de hace 3000 años antes de Cristo, 2000 años después de Cristo. ¿Y cómo es posible podemos acabar en 25 años el consumo de la hoja de coca sabiendo que esta hoja de coca no hace daño a la salud humana? La masticación es esto. No hace daño a nadie. No porque piseo, acolico o mastico me pueden decir que soy narcodependiente. De ser así, el señor Costa, la presidenta, tienen que llevarme a la cárcel. Excelentísimos representantes de todos los países que habitan este planeta Tierra, yo quiero pedirles, repito con mucho respeto, retirar a la hoja de coca de la lista 1 de estupefacientes. La hoja de coca no es estupefaciente. Así como cualquier producto puede tener algún pequeño porcentaje de alcaloide. Yo pido a ustedes, hay que incluir en la lista 1 de estupefacientes clorhidrato de cocaína, pasta base de cocaína, sulfato de cocaína, que debe estar en la lista 1 de estupefacientes y no está, es otro error, y solo está la hoja de coca, que no hace daño a la salud humana. Y en mi región, en mi país, esta hoja de coca es algo sagrado.